Hello, and welcome to today's video. I was looking at the new killer teaser for Dead by Daylight, and I was thinking to myself, what could this possibly be? Like it's just a chain being drug and then tension. So I started looking into horror movies to see maybe if they were taking the next inspiration from a horror movie, because they have done that in the past, and I came upon an assumption that it could be the Ghost Rider. Now, the story makes sense. He sold his life to save his father, and in return, the devil has him kill and seek vengeance upon the living. So, the story could easily match up to the entity. He sells his soul to the entity. Looking further into this, I was wondering how could the ghost face, what perks could he bring to the table? First off, I feel his ability would be something reflecting the Strangler off of last year, where he pulls the victim towards him either a short distance or all the way to him. I don't know if it should actually harm the survivor or just put them into the injured state and not be able to put them into the dying state. Also commonly seen in the comics and the movie, he is riding a motorcycle, and I feel maybe they could turn this into some sort of teleport, or maybe just like a quick travel across the map, puts him into a state where he can run but he can't attack, something like that. And for his perks, like the abilities he could bring to the table for all killers to use, the first one that I thought would be really cool, so he has an ability called Penance Pain, and this is where he inflicts his victim with every single pain that he has inflicted to anybody else throughout their entire life. Every scratch, bruise, bump, tear, everything. Now, I feel like if this was a perk, it would be something like if you hooked a survivor that has not unhooked anyone else, they'll get broken. Or if whenever you hook a survivor, they simply can't heal themselves, and they have to have other people heal them. Another one, I thought, I don't really know the name for it, I would call it something like Soul Tether. Seeing as one of his favorite pastimes is playing with the souls of the living, he could have something like an exhaustion perk. Something like if he sets his eyes on you, you get exhausted for 5 to 10 seconds. Now, I say 5 to 10 seconds because if you're running and he looks at you, then you get exhausted. And then he can chase you and you're exhausted. I say 5 seconds, so you have a chance to get your exhaustion back in the middle of a chase by dropping a pallet and then waiting a couple of seconds, just to get that flowed through. And then obviously if he sees you, there's a cooldown, so he can't just look at you over and over and over and over. And the last perk I was thinking he could have was something like a gen destruction perk, something like overcharge, but when you kick a gen, it gets skill checked, and if you fail the skill check, it puts you into injured state rather than making the gen regress. Now this is a really cool idea. So say you kick a generator and then you leave, a survivor goes to get on the generator and then they miss the skill check. The generator doesn't regress a whole lot, it's just the same as a missed skill check, and then you get put in an injured state, which then furthers the killer's chance of survival. I was reading deeper in the idea when it came to me. The answer right in front of my face. I felt so stupid, so blind. Like, could it be? Now, this was an idea I teetered on for a minute, but I was like, this is just too obvious. So I started looking deeper and deeper. I looked at the footage, and then I looked closer. Yes, it has to be. The new killer to Dead by Daylight must be one of the world's most horrifying, most dangerous creatures known to mankind. Legend has it, you speak his name and you'll be cursed for generations to come. Now, you might be wondering, what the hell is this dude talking about? Well, it's a face we all know. The Chain Chomp. It makes so much sense. I see it all so clearly now. This unworldly being is simply too strong. So strong the gods themselves chained him up. to prevent him from eating all of humanity. His ability? Well, his ability is simply too hard to single out. There are many things that this being can do. And his perks? There's simply not a single way to squeeze one of his unique abilities into one perk. It's no wonder they took Hexarune out of the game. They simply had to give the survivors a break before coming to their absolute annihilation. Well, I'm sorry to say it, but it seems there's no hope for escaping the entity's wrath. But thanks for stopping by. If you had fun listening to me and my theory, then you should probably get a life. Well, peace out. Be sure to subscribe.